welcome back aboard the great ship, the Space Show. It's a lovely day inside where the temperature is monitored. I am your host, Lieutenant Commander Rebecca Frost, joined by Admiral Carrie Jackson and Ensign Tony Eccles.
Hi. See what the temperature is out there on my old tricorder here.
What's it say?
Let's see. It's saying
Hot.
Hot as balls. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
How do they measure temperature in the future? Kelvin?
By balls.
Well, 1 unit of Carrie's balls.
I only have one, so it's
inaccurate
It only
readings.
gets so hot.
I just watched the episode of Veep. This is not a Veep cast, but I just watched the episode of Veep where they are dealing with like a hurricane, and Mike is like, "Oh, we can track the storm. I have an app." And Selena goes, "We have the power of the National Weather Service, Mike." And he goes, "Yeah, but it's a really good app."
Mike is so freaking funny in that show.
Yep.
He kills me.
God, I think my favorite character is Gary Cole. But we're not here to talk about Veep.
That's another show.
That's another show. I wanted to present to you, the loyal listeners and viewers, a very special edition episode of the Space Show because, listen, I'm a little bit behind on my episodes. So I can't exactly do an episode about episodes I haven't seen, but there's a ton of news that has come out of San Diego Comic-Con. So I thought we could do a fun San Diego Comic-Con Star Trek news roundup.
Yes.
So let's start with Lower Decks news. Lower Decks, the panel at San Diego Comic-Con debuted a teaser trailer for the 5th and final season.
So sad.
I know. The show, the Lower Decks, when it premieres October 24th, Thursday, October 24th. 2 episodes debut that day, followed by an episode every Thursday leading up to the series finale on Thursday, December 19th. Have you watched the trailer? I'm not going to play any of the trailers that they showed because we've been dealing with copyright strikes left and right over here at the Geek Show Network. So,
Yeah.
But have you guys watched the Lower Decks teaser trailer?
I did.
I have not yet.
So
It's just more wonderful goodness from this show.
That's what I figure.
A show so good that we don't deserve it.
the first half of the trailer I thought was just clip show nonsense like they do in teasers. It's actually a reference for the trailer that was released for Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. Had no idea. So I watched the trailer for Star Trek VI, Undiscovered Country, and I can't believe I even doubted for a hot second that Lower Decks would do anything but reference another Star Trek property.
Yeah, that's their bread and butter.
I know. The synopsis for this upcoming season teases a couple of things. The USS Cerritos has been tasked with closing space potholes as these subspace rifts are causing chaos in the Alpha Quadrant.
That's interesting. That's because of an upcoming Star Trek: The Next Generation episode. That's very interesting. Potholes, huh?
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Yes.
The Cerritos crew will also deal with an Orion war. Noel Wells also said that we will meet blue Orions. We also will deal with some furious Klingons, diplomatic catastrophes, and murder mysteries.
Ooh.
During the panel, Mike McMahon revealed that he and his team made the season with the end in mind. He said, "We have something really special coming for you. We got a heads up that this was probably going to be our final season on Paramount Plus with enough time to make sure that it is really worth doing. Not only are the episodes hilarious and real Star Trek the whole time, but there's some amazing legacy guest stars that come in." A fan asked if season 5 would end like the final season of Discovery by providing closure, and he emphatically said no, saying, "You're going to get a closure that feels like the end of a chapter, but you're not getting a closure on the Cerritos or these characters."
Ah, good idea.
Yeah, come on, other streaming services, pick them up.
Or movies. Maybe we could do a movie, or a continuation.
Video games.
Specials.
The possibilities are endless.
One thing that is for sure, Lower Decks will continue in an ongoing comic series from IDW. Writer Ryan North and artist Derek Charm are reuniting for a Lower Decks ongoing comic series. The series will feature episodic storytelling with each tale presented by a different artist. Star Trek Lower Decks #1 will beam into shops on November 13th. And you have until October 7th to pre-order that from a local comic book shop.
I better get that on my hold then, yes.
And also, I don't think this was announced at San Diego Comic-Con, but also from Ryan North and IDW, an interactive graphic novel, Star Trek Lower Decks Warp Your Own Way, choose your own adventure Lower Decks comic book is coming out on October 22nd.
Okay.
I love those. I used to have like 4 or 5 Marvel comics. Well, not comics. They were novels, but Marvel character choose your own adventures. And it was like, Wolverine, and you had to try to make it all the way to the end, without, getting killed or whatever. They're a lot of fun. And if they do these right, this could be a lot of fun too, because you can add the humor on top of the choose your own adventure part. Yeah. Terrific idea.
From what I've seen, I believe it takes place from a Mariner perspective, so we will see. Speaking of Mariner, also announced at San Diego Comic-Con. Oh, yes, Tony.
I have a Lower Decks question.
Yeah, what's up?
Is Lower Decks, I've always wondered this as I watched through it, is it considered Star Trek canon?
Sure.
I think so, because
they made some big kind of like changes in the series, such as the what's Quark's race? I forget.
Ferengi.
The Ferengi are now a part of the Federation. That happened in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Nog is the Grand Emperor guy of the Ferengi. Like,
oh yeah,
all kinds of stuff that's just like, okay, that I could never see that happening in a regular Star Trek show.
Yeah.
So
Nog in the Discovery timeline is like this, he's up there.
Highly revered kind of.
Exactly. He's, like Spock was the first Vulcan to be in Starfleet. He's the first Ferengi. And so in Discovery, they have the USS Nog as one of the ships. I think it's
interesting.
Fabulous.
So yeah, that could be then.
So according to the Star Trek canon Wikipedia, Lower Decks and Prodigy are both considered canonical.
All right.
There you go.
Cool.
Accepted. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Tawny Newsome and Lower Decks, we talked about this on the main show, but Tawny Newsome and writer-director Justin Simeon are developing a new live-action comedy set in the world of Star Trek. We don't know much about it. The show will be set in the 25th century, and according to an official logline, it will follow Federation outsiders serving a gleaming resort planet find out their day-to-day exploits are being broadcast to the entire quadrant. So, what I've heard is it has very big Office and Parks and Rec vibes. So maybe White Lotus meets Parks and Rec.
I'm in. That sounds great.
I mean, I'm going to love it. But yeah. I predict that some Star Trek fans, the same ones who don't like Lower Decks because it's not taking things seriously, are going to have a problem with it.
Well.
And to them, I just say, don't watch it then.
Yeah, there's lots of other Star Trek for you, Mm-hmm.
What's so crazy, all of the stuff that has come out from San Diego Comic-Con and Star Trek Las Vegas that as a recording happened last weekend, there's a whole subset of Star Trek fans that have shown up on my Twitter feed that don't like, which is so crazy because my Twitter feed is typically very well curated. I only have cool, chill people on there, but segueing into Strange New Worlds, I have learned a lot of people don't like Strange New Worlds.
I don't, and that baffles me. Completely baffles me.
Yeah.
So we'll move into Strange New Worlds quickly. Well, not quickly. It was announced that Killian O'Sullivan from a Netflix show called In From the Cold will play the legacy role of Dr. Roger Corby, a character first introduced in the original series, and he will be a reoccurring guest star in the upcoming season. So if you are unfamiliar with the original series, Tony.
Yep, that's me.
Yes, Tony, this is you.
Dr. Roger Corby is
Tell me about it.
He is the ex-fiance of Christine Chapel.
What?
Yes.
There's a Chapel?
Yeah.
Yes. So there is an original series episode called What Are Little Girls Made Of, where we find out that he was badly injured on XO3 and he transferred his consciousness into an android body.
That's the spoiler ending. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I'll never watch it.
You should. But so in Strange New Worlds, he has a fellowship that thousands apply to every year and only 5 are accepted. And we learned in Subspace Rhapsody that Nurse Chapel was accepted into this fellowship.
Yeah.
Mbenga has described him as the Louis Pasteur of archaeological medicine.
So if he's in an android now, does that mean he's functionally immortal, doesn't age? Like, he could be a through line through all of Star Trek if they wanted?
No, he doesn't make it to the end of that original series episode.
So this is before the original series, so he's still human. In the original series episode, his android body is destroyed at the end. Thus, he's destroyed at the end.
I see.
And it's kind of vague. So what I'm kind of predicting will happen, maybe in Strange New Worlds, maybe off screen or whatever, but Chapel starts this fellowship, begins a relationship with Dr. Corby. They get engaged. He goes off to whatever it is he's doing on XO3. I cannot remember, but he gets really badly injured and doesn't return. So what I'm kind of wondering is if they get engaged, he disappears and she is left wondering whatever happened to him.
I mean, because during the original series, there's that unspoken tension between him and Christine, and she clearly likes him, and so that'll be interesting to see. You may want to take 45 minutes and go and watch that episode.
Yeah.
It's not good, but
it's the episode. Right. It's the episode where Kirk holds a big rock and it looks
you've seen
suggestive.
The meme. You've seen the meme. It looks like a big penis.
Oh,
you've seen that meme, right?
Meme.
So this is
know that one.
Yeah, and this is the one where a Kirk gets duplicated. They make a Kirk duplicate. They don't put his mind in the body, but they make a Kirk android duplicate. So of course Shatner gets to act against himself, which is always something Shatner wants to do. And you also have Ted Cassidy, the original Lurch from the Addams Family, as an android, and he shows up throughout the original series every now and then as voices and things like that. But this is him in this whole, and his character's name is Rock.
Doesn't he show up in Next Gen as well as Deanna Troy's mom's? That's the penis rock.
That's a different Lurch from a different Addams family.
Different Lurch, okay.
Yeah, different Lurch from a different Addams family.
All right.
If you're watching along at home, I have pulled up the picture of.
That's big.
Yeah,
you can see Ted Cassidy back there in the doorway.
I mean, that's like French pole vaulter big.
Yeah. Speaking of copyright problems, boy, God
it's
damn
crazy.
The Olympics.
NBC is so strict about that. Anyway,
I should have realized, because they have strict rules even for us just talking about the Olympics.
Like you can't even call it like the Super Bowl, right?
Like on the radio, we can't make any money through a client say a bar is showing Olympic Games, right? We can't say watch the Olympics at this bar.
Okay.
We can't say that because we're making money from the bar. They're advertising, so they should get their cut. Wow. We have to say watch the games or whatever it is at that bar.
There are competitive international games playing on the TVs at the bar.
Exactly. Oh man, the Olympics and their rights. It's
Jeezy, crazy.
Anyway.
So continuing on with Strange New Worlds talk, they released a 5-minute clip from the upcoming season. And in this clip, Nurse Chapel is giving an away team that consists of Chief Engineer Pelia, La'an, Uhura, and Captain Pike a variation of the antidote used to bring back Spock's Vulcan physiology in episode 205 Charades, which turns them into Vulcans for an undisclosed away mission.
Now, we watched the first half of that clip on the after party, which you can get at geekshowgotthiscovered.com. We weren't dinged for that one. So
yeah.
But we only watched the first half. We didn't watch the second half.
So I did us a favor. But with the release of this clip, I watch it, very excited to see my friends again. Yeah. This is the clip that brought out everyone from the woodwork who is a hyper Vulcan defender. And I didn't really get it. But
Me neither. Me neither.
These guys know that Vulcans aren't real, right?
my reaction was, hey, it's all pretend.
They're fake. It's pretend.
There's a podcast called Strange New Pod, and I have taken this from their blog because I think it describes what I have discovered most succinctly. Okay. So if this had just turned the crew's physiology into Vulcans, we'd be in normal Trek territory, as the undercover trope has been in use since the 1960s. But what the production team seems to be forgetting is that Vulcan culture isn't biological. Learning Surak's teachings and accepting and studying logic isn't biological. Vulcan culture isn't biological, and yet the minute they get injected with this serum, the bridge crew have all of a sudden mastered logic and apparently racism, calling Spock a half Vulcan on more than one occasion in the 5-minute clip.
Now, okay, look,
man.
look, I knew that, and I watched the scene and laughed anyway.
It can still be fun.
Even though I said, well, I remember Spock had a harder time, getting the whole Vulcan philosophy situation going. A philosophy I admire, actually, but
Sure.
But I remember he had a harder time because he was half human, and I remember. We've always had our emotions. It's just this is our philosophy, and this is what we have adopted as a society. I remember that, but I didn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
It was funny to see that. It was just funny.
It's brought out so many instances of people. Like, again, I was shocked at the reaction to this of people. I saw somebody say they have disliked Strange New Worlds since the beginning, but that these people need to put away their original series toys because they don't know how to play with them.
Listen,
it's pretend.
Listen,
it is all pretend.
And we're also only seeing one scene.
That's true.
That's the thing. We are seeing a 5-minute clip from a 45-plus-minute episode.
There could be a wonderful joke later in the show about, hey, how come that happened? And they'll be like, yeah, it shouldn't have happened. What? They may explain it.
Nanobots are the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that was pointed out that I hadn't really considered before. Spock and his half-human, half-Vulcan heritage are constantly a focus on Strange New Worlds. And some people don't like that, or they don't like the way that it is being handled. And again, I gotta say, it's all pretend. And I think we're allowed to just have some fun.
Listen, I admire the Vulcan philosophy. I really do. And which is why I like J.J. Abrams' approach to Spock more than most, because he does still have his human parts in him, and it seeps out. His love for Uhura. His love isn't logical, but he is in love with Uhura. It's because I understand all that, and I'm okay with it. Let's not lose our fucking minds here, people. Just sit back and enjoy the ride, okay?
Yeah, to those people, I say, are you sure you're not a Star Wars fan? Because this is the kind of stuff Star Wars fans get really angry about.
Right there, Tony, right there.
I think we're allowed to have some fun and some positives from this clip that we can take away. Pelia and Scotty seem to be the funny bunch of the crew, and I cannot wait to see more of the funny bunch. And also, it is nice to know that everyone's okay, because if we remember the season 2 finale, La'an and Ortegas were taken by the Gorn, and we didn't know what was going to happen there. But it seems now that everything's okay, and everyone has cool new haircuts now. So
his hair's too tall. I'm sorry.
His hair
that captain's hair is
tall.
Did it grow when he turned Vulcan? Yeah. Did it get taller?
It got like 3 times
taller.
as high. It got bigger than the Grinch's heart when he learns to love.
Get him, Tony. But not only that, Chapel had bangs, and then when she turned Vulcan, she had no bangs. But then Uhura had a fro, and then when she turned Vulcan, got braids.
Yeah.
She turned black, as they say.
As he say.
As he say.
I'm so excited for this new season.
I know. I'm excited. Oh, do we know when Strange New Worlds is coming back? Did they say?
I was just going to ask you.
Oh my gosh. Strange.
Let's look it up real quick, because
New Worlds season 3.
I'm paying for Paramount Plus. God damn it.
Yeah, where's my plus?
Likely won't premiere until 2025.
No. We have to wait that long?
That's so long.
I thought for sure
Yeah.
it was sooner than that. Oh, well.
Yeah,
Well,
to
we-
2025.
But we're getting Lower Decks before that, though. Right?
Yes, October
that's-
of this year. Yeah.
That's what they're saying. That'll hold us until
Gee, thanks. I
That'll
guess.
just make me sad is what
we
that'll
just
do.
it just strings you along to make you keep paying for Paramount Plus, and you know.
Speaking of things that come out in 2025, a teaser trailer for the movie Section 31.
Oh,
I don't know nothing about what's going on over there.
again, Trek fans, bad Trek fans are having a problem with this show. Anyway.
For real, this trailer gave me chills. It looks rad as hell. Have you watched this, Tony?
I had a big problem with this trailer because it's
That it
for
wasn't
a
enough?
It's for a movie and not for a series. I want more of it. Come on now.
It was supposed to be a series, and then
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh won the Oscar, and she went, well, maybe not.
Oh, come on.
But Michelle Yeoh, who is delightful.
God, she looks so cool. This whole thing looks so cool. So it starts
Very.
with a yellow title card that reads, "This preview contains misfit content as determined by Starfleet Common Media Division, including colorful metaphors, disintegration, Deltan fraternizing, and reference to unauthorized time jumps." And
Deltan fraternizing. Oh.
and the whole trailer is scored by Beyonce's Formation.
Which is
So
another
cool in
again,
itself.
The bad Star Trek fans are having a problem with that, to which I say this is just a trailer. They may only be using it here.
Yeah, there's you know how many movies only use a song in the trailer and you never see it in the rest of the movie? Come on now.
So we get a peek at a series of flashbacks revealing the atrocities committed by young Philippa Georgiou as she rose through the ranks of the Mirror Universe's Terran Empire to be feared and hailed as Emperor. Its tone and style takes fans into a shadowy world of Star Trek secret agents, and Michelle Yeoh seems to be having the time of her life.
Now that's Star Trek Discovery season 1 and 2 with Michelle Yeoh as Philippa Georgiou. I hesitate to say so much because you haven't watched it. I don't think either one of you have watched.
Oh, I've watched all the Discovery.
You've watched Discovery?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, but poor Rebecca,
The only thing I haven't watched is the original series because I think it's dumb. But I've watched all the other Star Trek.
Okay. Now, Section 31, Rebecca, is birthed in Deep Space Nine during that timeline. Well, I mean, it's been around for a long time.
Right,
is what
you
we're
only
told.
find out about it.
And it's like the secret ops, like CIA, undercover part of Starfleet that Starfleet doesn't want anyone else to know about.
So cool. So cool.
And
Yeah.
sprinkle a little bit of X-Files in there as well. They handle a lot of the really weird stuff.
They have a division of Section 31 that is specifically about time travel violations.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, and then there are some books that are Section 31 books that are available as well. So what they're doing is they've taken this character. She is from the Mirror Universe, Emperor Georgiou. She's, you know, kill them all and let Crom sort them out. She's got that kind of philosophy. But she sort of goes along with the Discovery cast for a couple of seasons and then is gone. And I won't say how it all happens, but
Carl.
so it'll explain from that point where she is gone to how is Section 31 going to get her, if anybody has the ability to get her from where she is at Section 31.
I'm so excited.
And so they're gonna bring her in saying, you have a certain set of skills that we could use.
Very Suicide Squad.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Something I'm also excited about. Sam Richardson is in this,
Yeah.
and I love him.
He's great.
So we can also expect that in early 2025. Very excited. I've watched that trailer like 3 times. It looks so cool. Moving on to Starfleet Academy, Paramount Plus announced a couple of fabulous people joining the cast. Tig Notaro, Oded Fehr, Mary Wiseman, and Robert Picardo have joined the season 1 cast of Star Trek Starfleet Academy in various roles and special guest appearances. Notaro and Picardo join as series regulars, reprising their roles as Jet, Reno, and the Doctor, and Fehr and Wiseman join as guest stars reprising their roles as Admiral Vance and Sylvia Tilly. Again, people I don't know, but I hear they're great.
So I thought Tilly was like one of the main characters in that show, but
She
it
is
says she's going to be a guest role?
Well, what it'll be is these kids will be the main characters, and the teachers, so it'll be Tilly and Tig Notaro, will show up.
Okay. So they'll follow the students more than the teachers. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be focused more on the teachers and who were the Philip Seymour Hoffman and...
oh, no, we wish Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti. Philip.
They
look alike to me. I'm sorry.
Didn't Leigh make that mistake on Saturday?
He did, and that may be where I got it.
You guys.
We wish he was still alive. Paul Giamatti and the
Holly
other
Hunter.
Holly Hunter. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it'll be mostly them and the kids, with the teachers showing up every now and then. Tilly will be a teacher. Tig will be a teacher.
The synopsis, Starfleet Academy will follow the adventures of a new class of Starfleet cadets as they come of age in one of the most legendary places in the galaxy. This series will introduce viewers to this young group of cadets as they come together to pursue a common dream of hope and optimism. Under the watchful and demanding eyes of their instructors, they will discover what it takes to become Starfleet officers as they navigate blossoming friendships, explosive rivalries, first loves, and a new enemy that threatens both the Academy and the Federation itself.
I can't wait to see what they do with the Doctor's character. I mean, he's been around for like 700 years since the Voyager timeline, like the Voyager
Pretty
era.
much, yeah.
Well,
And yeah, I'm excited to see what they've had. You know, hopefully they give you hints about what he's been doing for centuries.
Well, he's on Star Trek Prodigy season 2
oh, is he?
as a regular. Yeah, he's on the ship, and so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's a program, so he could be anywhere. But
Right. Yeah.
So that's really all I have from San Diego Comic-Con. I have 2 pieces of stuff I want to talk about from Star Trek Las Vegas, which I think I want to try to go to one of these years. That looks like so much fun.
Is that still around? I thought they closed Star Trek Las Vegas.
they did during COVID, but of course they picked the hottest time of the year to have a Star Trek convention in Las Vegas.
Well, it's inside.
Yeah.
So
it's at the Rio every year. And
That's
so
cool.
that means you can walk across the hall and see Penn and Teller.
oh my God.
But
I guess.
I wouldn't stay at the Rio if I were you.
Uh-oh.
We were going to stay at the Rio when we were going to go to Vegas for New Year's Eve because we were going to go see John Oliver and Seth Meyers, but then we got sick and didn't get to go, and I'm still mad about it.
Stay at the Cosmopolitan and take an Uber to the Rio.
I stayed at the Cosmopolitan once, courtesy of Radio from Hell. Worst trip of my life.
Really?
Well, no.
The hotel was good.
Thanks, Carrie.
That was great.
The hotel was good.
I was young and poor, which is, but whatever. So Star Trek Las Vegas. According to multiple people who attended the convention, the Orville star Scott Grimes, also from Family Guy and American Dad, shared shared during a performance. I don't know what I tried to find out what kind of performance he was doing. I couldn't find any information about that. He said publicly to an audience that a 4th season of the Orville will begin filming in January 2025. Hulu,
I hope he's right.
Hulu and Seth MacFarlane both have yet to announce anything. So who knows?
The Orville snipers are not as accurate as the Marvel snipers.
Yeah.
So he might get away with this one. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him to just say shit.
Yeah. Trying to manifest it or something, you know?
He seems like that kind of guy because they're working on Ted. They're working on Ted season 2, which he is also a star of. So yeah.
And then the last thing I want to talk about, there was a post on Reddit I'm sure you guys have heard of this.
Oh,
the
yes,
in
yes,
the
yes.
conservative
I have heard of
subreddit. So you've heard of Reddit. Have you heard of subreddits?
Yes.
There was one called conservative, r/conservative, and it's called Star Trek Convention Turns Political. I have a couple of friends up in Vegas this weekend. They wanted to turn their brains off and go nerd out and meet some Star Trek actors and have some fun. Today, during a panel with Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9, she went off for 10 minutes straight telling Trump supporters to go fuck themselves multiple times. A panel with Captain Janeway had a fan ask her for her political opinions, and the panel turned into a huge Kamala love fest. My friends now feel hated by everyone there and are keeping quiet. Say what you will, and is true of Star Trek, particularly modern Star Trek, but it's a fucking convention. Why can't people just fucking nerd out about stupid, fun sci-fi shit? Why do leftists have to make it about politics every single fucking time?
Yeah, it's always us, right? It's always, yeah.
Gosh.
Even though I'm on Reddit right now going, eh. Yeah.
I feel horrible for my friends. They just wanted to do something outside of their usual and have a stupid, nerdy time. Now all they're taking away from this is how 7 of 9 hates them with a fucking passion.
Jerry Ryan replied to this.
I have that as well. She replied, ha. And for the record, I didn't tell anyone to go fuck themselves, but really confused what it is about Star Trek that they like, since they clearly missed the entire message of the whole franchise. I mean, it's not like it was ever subtle.
No, that's the thing that just boggles my mind about everyone that says Star Trek's too political. You know,
It has always been political.
That's what
Day
I mean.
one.
New Star Trek so political. No, all Star Trek is always political.
This guy edited his post a day later. Good God, this post blew up on another sub, and the thousands of comments from the unhinged left are absolutely horrific.
We're unhinged.
These people absolutely hate us with a violent passion. Be safe.
No, we
out
think
there.
you're stupid. We just don't know what show you're watching. We don't hate you.
Oh, my goodness. These
And
guys.
it's so interesting reading the comments in the conservative subreddit, because a lot of people are like, hey, Star Trek is literally a leftist utopian franchise. And then people come in with the Federation is also a meritocracy, something that conservatives support. Leftists don't support that anymore, apparently. It's
No, we do. We do. We like smart people to be in charge.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know what show they are watching.
Someone said, nothing new. DragonCon 2007 panels with Frakes, McFadden, and Spiner were railing about George W. Bush being Hitler.
Well, and the thing is and this is true of everyone that gets really wrapped up in their political spectrum. Anyone that disagrees with them is all of a sudden the greatest villain of all time, and they will take the smallest comment and blow it up to be the biggest absurdity and like vile, comment against them. And it's like, was that even what was said?
No.
I mean, come on.
Oh gosh, listen to this. It's a cult. They hate you. Marxism destroying everything you like is just a prerequisite for every communist revolution. This is just the 1966 Cultural Revolution being played through once again, this time in the West, because boomers didn't educate their kids about the realities of Maoism. What is happening?
Oh my gosh.
I'll just throw out the word Marxist when I feel like I need to make a point, even though I don't understand really what Marxism is.
Yeah, same with like Antifa and things like that.
Yeah, I'll just throw these words out at you. But I could point to you from the get-go, from the original series, many, many instances. Look, here's the ultimate statement, all right? Yes, Star Trek is liberal. The 6th movie is literally about saving the whales.
Yeah.
All right? I don't know how much more evidence you need to it is liberal. Accept it. And don't try to say, it never was. No, it always was. You just weren't paying attention, or you weren't watching the same show,
Another comment that has me chuckling. Come on, these people are actors and not very talented ones at that. What do you expect? To be fair, I would say Star Trek has always had a bit of leftist flavor. There is no way Roddenberry was a conservative. But hey, I don't know if Shatner is American now, and if so, votes in the U.S., but there's no way I can imagine he would vote for Kamala over Trump.
Look, he has dual citizenship, and he has said in the past he hates Trump. Anyway.
And also, here's the
there you
thing.
go.
Shatner and Bezos both went to space. Shatner came back with his worldview changed. Bezos came back and went, yeehaw, that was fun. Like,
And Shatner was talking about how we're polluting the skies and this is bad, you know?
and I don't want to recommend Shatner's documentary that I watched earlier this year. I don't. But if you do watch it, this guy's definitely left-leaning.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't... Yeah.
I just don't. Again, I don't know what show they're watching because I'm watching the same show for those reasons. I want my leftist utopia. All
Yeah.
right? I
Also,
want
can we
that.
talk about the domino effect of Jerry Ryan getting cast in DS9, leading to Obama being elected president of the United States of America?
No, Jerry
Clearly.
Ryan wasn't in DS9.
Or
mean
whatever
Voyager?
show she was in, Voyager.
Voyager.
Clearly, there's a very solid line to be drawn between the two. You know,
There's a reason though, because
Wait, what?
okay, well, okay, the Jerry Ryan to Obama pipeline.
What?
I'm so
God.
serious. Okay, actress Jerry Ryan divorced her husband to play Seven of Nine on Star Trek
Yes.
Voyager because he refused to move to Hollywood with her. The divorce was contentious and a lot of salacious dirt was spilled. When Jack Ryan ran for the U.S. Senate in 2004, the release of the documents forced him to withdraw, allowing his challenger to win in a landslide against a last-ditch replacement. The landslide victory propelled the challenger, Barack Obama, to a position from which he could then launch a campaign for president.
Okay. I mean,
Well, I remember her husband was a turd, and the reason they got
Right.
divorced was because he was a weirdo sexually.
He was taking her to sex clubs. Looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
well, that would only get you. That would only prevent you from being elected back in those days. These days,
These days you can fuck a couch and everything's fine.
doesn't
I
matter.
can't believe you guys weren't aware of the Jerry Ryan to Obama domino
Well,
effect.
I knew Jerry Ryan was married to a conservative. I didn't realize that that connection.
It is the
Okay.
domino effect that led to President Barack Obama.
And the less dominoes, the more I believe it. So
Yeah, exactly.
if you have more dominoes, I'm like,
Yeah. There's only like 3 dominoes in that.
there is. Boom, boom, boom. So, and I'm all for that.
These are the same people though that complain when they realize that Marvel has been liberal and
Always.
forever. You know,
mean,
since
read-
the 60s, since the
Read
50s.
read some of Stan's soapboxes.
Exactly.
I mean,
Wait
Again,
a
there's
minute.
another comment. My friends and I were fans of Star Wars, Marvel, Doctor Who, Star Trek, Disney parks and films. All have gone to hell.
It's all the same stuff that it has been for decades.
it's been this way.
Decades.
It is. It's like people who complain about my radio show. You've gotten too liberal. No. We haven't changed.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've been bleeding heart liberals from the beginning. You remember when we used to call him Slick Willie? We've been bleeding heart liberals from the beginning. It's you that have changed. We're picking on your team, and you don't like that. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and having been rewatching South Park from the beginning, and especially like the election year episodes, it's so nothing ever changes. It's so crazy how everything is the same all of the time.
We just have
And now everyone is just louder about it.
That's the thing. We have the internet now and social media to project everything out on, so it gets more volume than it had in the past, and that's the difference these days.
Yeah.
You know, keyboard warriors.
But I was
Rebel.
I was driving down the road and saw a targ on the side of the road that had been hit, and I decided I was going to pick it up.
We
and
are
skin
1
it.
week away from learning
skin
RFK
it.
Jr. has eaten a human.
And
Like,
eaten-
we are 1 week away.
I was going to eat it, so I put it in the trunk of the car. And then I went doing my falconry, because that's what I do. And then I went to Peter Luger's, because I'm relatable, like a man of the people, with falconry and Peter Luger's steakhouse. And
The Kennedys are a whole different breed of people that need to be studied.
They're not relatable.
Man
anyone
of the
that has well, I mean, and I'm not saying this to offend anyone, but I would say anyone that has more than 3rd generational wealth is not relatable anymore.
exactly.
No.
You know what I mean?
They don't know what it's like to be a real person.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll go
anyway,
as far as first generational wealth. I know somebody personally
Well,
first generational wealth who's no longer a real person anymore.
There's absolutely instances like that, but I would say once you get into the third generational wealth beyond that, they're so far removed from what the average person has to go through on a day-to-day basis, you know, or a week to week, that they just out of touch.
All right.
Well, thanks for tuning into Leftist Talk.
Politics talk on Star Trek. Who puts politics in this Star Trek podcast?
If we offended you, hey, let us know in the comments.
Well, and
I'm sure you will anyway.
It's art, and art is there to produce discussion, to help things get looked at a finer and a higher resolution level. And so if the artwork is making us talk about stuff, maybe it needs to be talked about.
Art is political.
Art is political in its nature.
Why is everything going to be so political? Just wanted to have a fun time at a nerd convention. Well, thank you guys.
Picked the wrong nerd convention then.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Space Show. Next episode, I promise we're going to get back to the episodes, but I just wanted to share some of the fun Star Trek news that's out there in the universe.
I enjoyed this. This was fun.
Yes, I it's something I would like to do more of, but Star Trek news is not like happening all the time. So
it's not like Star Wars or Marvel news. You know, that's weekly. We get new stuff.
Robert Downey Jr. is back. Thank you guys for listening or watching. Leave a comment if you had fun or a miserable time. I would love to know either way. But we will see you next time. And until then, we will continue to go where no man has gone before, but a lot of people have gone before. Thank you, everybody.